You heard what I said? Chill, chill. Y'all know I don't normally do this, right? So all I ask is you rock with me one time. Let go. Now that's a banger.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Good evening. I'm going to let some people come in. I am back. It's been since last week, but you know I was on a hiatus for like 2 to 3 months. So I'm going to give y'all the opportunity to come in. Tonight's topic is the closet. Why are LGBTQ hiding in it? I already received a comment from someone. Jose David said no need to hide in the closet unless you live in a country or community that is hostile towards LGBT plus people. Well, sometimes that's just not even the case, right? You could live in a country, you could live in a city, you could live wherever, right? But just a lot of things that go on with us. While I'm waiting for everybody to come on in, I got my sage out because some of y'all crazies be tuning into this show. So I got my sage out for y'all niggas. I got my sage out for some of y'all homophobes or, internalized homophobia, exposed LGBT people. I'm lighting my sage for y'all. Hopefully tonight we can get it together and have a great discussion about this topic. The closet and why LGBT people are in it. Come on in. Hey, D-Nasty, how are you? Everybody come on in. I'm giving y'all time because once I go. I go on my rants and y'all know how I am. The phone number if you need to call in is 302-312-3534. Topic for the night, the closet, and why are LGBTQ people hiding in it? While we're waiting for other people to come on, those that are watching, because I can see you, why do you believe that LGBT people hide in the closet? Why do you believe? What is your opinion? D Nasty, your opinion. Anyone else that's watching, your opinion. Why do LGBT people hide in the closet? Before we begin, see y'all coming. Why do LGBT people hide in the closet? Have any clue? What do you think it's about? I know a lot of times when I say hiding in the closet, most people think about R. Kelly, right? First thought probably comes either R. Kelly or some strange gay dude that's married and he has a wife and he's sleeping around on his wife with a man. That's the stereotypes when you think about the closet, right? Either one of those two. The closet is a lot deeper than that. Alicia said most of the time it has to do with family acceptance. D Nasty, I think maybe because people ridicule them. I agree with both of those statements. I definitely do. We're going to talk about this closet and basically from research and my general opinion as to what goes on with that closet. First, like I said, I'm going to repeat it. The closet is a lot deeper than someone trying to be sneaky. The general concept when people hear closeted is a person that's trying to be sneaky. They're trying to get a piece of ass nobody don't know. And it's normally a man. Let's just shoot all those things down right quick. That can occur. But anyone within the LGBTQIA+ community can be in the closet. Boom. Let's get that right there. It's not just the gay male. Lesbians be in the closet, bisexual people be in the closet, gay, trans, pansexuals, asexuals, whatever you are, you're in the closet. And if you've been following my page, I've been posting several different sexualities, and all of them at one time has been probably in the closet, or a member of that community has been in the closet. So it's not just a gay male thing. Also, it's not. Remember last week we discussed bisexuality. We talked about, let's separate the characteristic from the label, from the orientation. Well, a person that's in the closet because they're trying to do sexual acts, that's just falling under promiscuity again. That's a sneaky person that's being promiscuous. So it's not even, the closet is not that simple. It's way deeper. It's way deeper than that. Let me get into my terms tonight as to what a closeted person is, right? So closeted. And you know I like to give definitions just to get us right on out there so you'll understand what it is, and then we leave it at that. You know, we don't add on to it. We ain't subtract. You know, we ain't putting nothing under this definition, but it's just what it is. A closeted person describes a person in the LGBTQIA plus community who don't publicly or openly share their sexual identity, sexual attraction, sexual behavior, gender expression, or gender fucking identity. That's it. That's all. That's what closeted means. It doesn't mean a man in the closet hiding from his wife, or a woman hiding from her husband, or a dog hiding from the cat. No, it's none of that. It's just a person that does not tell you their identity. Plain and simple. That's all it is. They're not telling you their identity at all. And at some point, if you decide to come out of that closet, you coming out, right? You coming out. So, and if you don't know, because a lot of people that are watching are heterosexual people, and they're like, well, what do these terms mean? Okay, coming out. It is a phrase that refers to a process of being open about one's sexuality and gender. For many LGBTQIA people, coming out isn't a one-time event, but a process and a series of moments and conversations. Also described as coming out of the closet. This process can include sharing about a same gender or similar gender, sexual or romantic attraction, experience, identifying as LGBTQIA, disclosing one's specific gender identity, gender expression, or sexual or romantic lifestyle. That's it. That's all. That's what that is. That's what that is. Again, if you're just tuning in, because I see y'all coming. We're talking about being in the closet. I just kind of gave a general description as to what it exactly is when you are in the closet, and I told you what coming out is. It has nothing to do with being sneaky. All of that shit, when you're trying to get a piece of ass or whatever it is you're doing, that has more to do with you, a personality trait. You are a cheater, or you're just promiscuous. That's not, you're using the closet in a fucked up way. And it makes the rest of the community look bad. And now let's talk about the reasons why people be in the closet. And I hope that if you are a heterosexual person and you got questions, just place them up there. Maybe I can answer them, or someone from the community can answer them. I don't want you to walk away with that thought process, like I said, that the media depicts in the closet as being, because it's just not that. It's just not that. But the reasons why LGBTQ people do not come out the closet, or why they're in that closet, is because of societal reasons, psychological reasons, and self-preservation reasons. These are, it's plenty of more. There's plenty of them. But those are the main three that I can identify and understand. The main three: societal reasons, self-preservation, and psychological issues. let's talk about the discrimination piece of it. Why a person that's in the closet? A lot of times, the societal reason, number one, is discrimination. Discrimination plays heavy. If you don't know what discrimination is, the unfair treatment against somebody based off a characteristic that you don't particularly like. As black people that's watching, or a person of color, you should already understand this. I don't even know why when you have these discussions about LGBTQ people, we have to have them with black people, because you already know what it feels like to be discriminated against, and to subject a LGBT person to that is ludicrous to me. You should be able to find that relatable, but we'll get into the reasons why you do that, right? So discrimination, the main reasons the main reason why I picked the reasons that I did, because a lot of these stem from the people that I have encountered being in this community, and the several inboxes that I get from my followers and things of that nature. Okay, so discrimination. Did you know that LGBTQ person that rolls up to apply for an apartment and things cannot get them necessarily? Some people aren't willing to rent to an LGBTQ person. Now, how ludicrous is that? That's off the chain. Imagine if you're a person that's trying to get your life together, you're doing what you got to do. You got the money in your hand, you got a career, you got all this shit going for you. You go up to somebody and say, listen, I like to rent this apartment. And you get several no's. But then you find out later, because of your sexual orientation, they don't want you in their apartment complex or their home renting it because you're gay. I don't want that kind of shit on my property. And again, as a black person, you should understand this. They use credit to rule you out, right? But when you're an LGBT person with perfect credit and you rolling up, what is the excuse? I got the money. But we are subjected to that. We are subjected to that. And unfortunately, sometimes, we don't find out until later, or we experience it through maybe one of our counterparts, our friends. But yeah, under discrimination, refusal of housing. Another thing that goes on with LGBT people is, and most people, but this one kind of bothers me, is the sexual harassment of them. Like, you don't like LGBT people, but then you try to put them in a position to proposition them for sexual acts. So that's a little strange to me, and that can happen on the workplace, or just out and about. I don't know, at a club scene. Whatever it is that you do, people sexually harass you for your orientation. They don't want to fuck with you out in the open, but they want to have sex with you. The next thing is, and you probably saw this on the news, and this shit bothers me too, denying of goods and services. You living in a world where everybody hates you, and then and for me, it's like, okay, fine, don't like my sexuality, but why would you deny me the right to have the same things as a heterosexual person? Did y'all see 2 years ago when it was a lesbian couple getting married, or a gay couple getting married, and the baker initially took the order for one of the counterparts that was in a relationship, but then when the baker saw the two of them together, they declined to make the cake for their wedding because they're homosexual? So these are some of the things that we go through. And again, if you're black, you probably get this. You probably experience this. That's why I don't understand how black people could be so homophobic. Another thing with discrimination is the firing of your job. You can lose your job. I know you have D Nasty. Losing your job. What's the next one? Denying them of health care. That's a big one. We get denied health care services. A lot of people, I don't think they realize how difficult it is being LGBT in that department. It used to be where you can be with somebody for 20 something, 30 years, and they couldn't even get on your health insurance. But now I think that's lax. Some companies offer that. I know my job doesn't. So if I decided to marry a woman, she would have to get her own insurance. It's another thing with the health care, you get inadequate health care. No one's caring enough to train themselves how to properly take care of a trans person, or how to properly address a LGBT person. How many times have I been to the doctor, I'll say with Smack personally, and they be like, or go somewhere, sir, no one looks up, no one addresses you correctly. You get terrible medical advice. I posted on my page a question if you follow me on my personal page. When you go to the gynecologist as a lesbian person, does she recommend that you don't get an STD panel because you're having same sex? Isn't that medical misinformation? So these are some of the things that we go through. And then the pure assumption, and this might be petty, I might sound like teen petty, but the assumption of, are you pregnant? Like, I sometimes, and it may just be me being petty, but I find it kind of offensive. You don't know my lifestyle. You didn't even ask me, how you doing, Miss Peach, today? First off, what are your pronouns? Maybe what type of relationship. Maybe we need to add some of these things into our vocabulary when we're dealing with people, because it's starting to be a little odd. But yeah, we go through a lot of discrimination, and that's not even, stepping. It's other issues, but this is stuff that's going on outside your house. We even talk about what's in your home. Then another one is legal discrimination. And that one, I experienced that personally. Legal discrimination. Okay, this is me coming out, and I remember trying to get a lawyer. The lawyer was fine, gung-ho for my money, but then once she heard the complexity of my case, because it involved another woman, she didn't necessarily treat me the same after that, and I had to take my money from that lady and move on to another one. She didn't want to deal with that. Oh, that's what? How could we make this where the judge could understand this? We're fighting for these things in a divorce. How could we dress this differently? That's discriminatory. Why do I gotta feel uncomfortable about who I am to make someone else understand my plight? And then you gotta realize also, when it comes to legal discrimination, we don't have the same rights as a heterosexual person per se. We're not gonna break it up into color. We're just gonna say a heterosexual person. When you walk in, things is as is. You go see the lawyer. You already have laws on the books for you. The lawyer can tell you what it's gonna look like, what it's gonna be. They already got probably the case built because they've done this several times before as a heterosexual person. But in the case of me, a LGBT person, I don't get that same experience. I mean, this one lady was literally like, yo, I need to figure out what judge we're gonna have, because some judges is more sensitive to your situation. That's terrible. That is terrible. So again, the closet is a lot deeper than what you think. Why are we in there? these practices, discriminatory practices, all of these different things. And then let's look at it as from the other side. If you are a LGBTQ lawyer, you're an LGBTQ lawyer, you may have a hard time even getting clients, depending on your area. You might have a extra hard time, all because your orientation. But again, this goes back, if you visibly, and we'll talk about, the visibly and the ones that's not visible. Another social reason why LGBT people don't come out the closet: lack of representation. Let's get into Little Nas X, right? All the and y'all could chime in. Most of the representation when it comes to LGBTQ people is either turned negative or it is negative. If you were born in the 60s and the 70s, right? Do you remember growing up and the only thing you heard about an LGBT person on the television was if they were associated with rapists? Like if a priest raped somebody, the first big word you saw, the gay priest rapes a kid. Just like with this R. Kelly thing right now. Sensationalized. R. Kelly is gay. He did this to the young guy. He sucked his, Little Nas X. And I see it all over the social media. I see it everywhere. I see it on YouTube because I listen to a lot of commentary. Little Nas X. Look at him. He's disrespecting women. How far is this gay stuff going to go? The more common thing you see about us in the media, because of propaganda, you see us being in the closet, right? How many Tyler Perry movies you done seen about some black dude being fucking in the closet, messing around on his wife? We don't have too many positive depictions of us in the media. That's terrible. And unfortunately, the media shapes the ideas of the average American that do not read, do not spend time or have access to different types of people from different cultures, different backgrounds, different orientations. So that television is God to them. If you still there, you agree or disagree, let me know. But that's another societal reason why we're in the closet, because we're not depicted correctly. Most people have, like, I don't know, the Cosby Show, where it's two successful people, a heterosexual couple. Then you have white shows like that. But nobody's depicting a successful LGBT couple with a family to mold the minds of people. It's always we some type of sex worker that got killed, or it's just always just a negative connotation when it comes to us. So imagine you being an LGBT person and you see that on the news. How do you think you're going to feel about yourself? You don't see nothing positive about yourself. And when you do see an LGBT person, they're a token LGBT person. And they're the flamboyant one, hey girl, and they're doing your hair. That's some great, that's so inspiring, right? So inspiring. And the next one, the reason why we don't come out is because of religion. Religious reasons. Because a lot of us come from these church going damn backgrounds, right? And our parents done got heard the drill. Homosexuality, God is against that. A man ain't supposed to lay with another man. Nobody doing no background research on their religion. No one trying to educate themselves. Everybody believing what Paul and Matthew and Job and all of them said. Nobody read the God edition, but everybody know what the fuck God said. So then you come home and you drill this into your child. So your child goes to church. You bring it home, you drill it into your child. And then this is an LGBT child or an LGBT adult that's in that closet even further back. Because they done dealt with discrimination, especially if they're visibly gay in the world. Then they gotta look at all of the stereotypical shit that's on the television. And now they gotta come home and deal with family and friends that have been indoctrinated by religion. This is why a lot of LGBT people be in the closet. When I started this, I told you it's not as simple as somebody being sneaky. This is a world thing. It's systematic. And remember, I told you when I gave you the definition of coming out the closet, it's a systematic process. Because then you gotta mentally, and we're going into the psychological reasons. You gotta mentally deal with how the world views you and how to get comfortable with that and how to live with that and how you gonna handle all these different abuses. And then you gotta make peace with the propaganda and understand that I'm not those things depicted on that television. And then you gotta do that deep fight when it comes to fucking religion. Cause that's the mind fuck right there. I recently had a woman that I spoke to. And she told me she would love to be with a woman, right? But she knows that she's gonna have to deal with God when she dies. Do you know how damaging that is? Alicia says, especially in some foreign countries that don't have a third of the rights that we do. Yes, Alicia, especially in a foreign country. That is definitely true. But even without the rights, like just that one piece, that burning in your psyche, that you know that God created you in every fiber in your being to be this person. He put you, or he or she, I like to say he or she because I have never read anything that God wrote. Personally, I've never seen a sparkling signature on any Bible to even begin to speak for the Creator. But in my mind, the Creator has to have some type of duality to create two different sexes, two different this and two, there's some duality in that. But either way, you created this person, every fiber in their being is telling them this is who they like and what they want to be with. But then they got to do a psychological battle that my afterlife, I may burst into flames, I'm going to burn in hell, I'm going to be tortured. Wouldn't that alone make you be in the closet? So it's just so much going on. But when people talk about this damn closet, they talk about it like it's some sneaky shit. No. It's a deep psychological process that unfortunately being heterosexual, you don't have to go through it because being heterosexual is understood. You don't have to explain it. You just are. And the world is good with it. That's why, what's that girl name? Nicki Minaj can get and put a pregnant picture in this good because it's understood. Even though she's naked. But Lil Nas X do it and it's not cool. This is what goes on with this closet. You gotta break down all these damn barriers, and some people don't get to break them. They break and they die from suicide. Another psychological reason after you done dealt with the world. If you are a trans person or a non-binary person, you suffer from dysphoria. Yes, Alicia, heterosexuality does equal the norm in this society. Yes, it does. And we need to change that. Dysphoria. I was going to put the whole definition up, but I think if you're watching and you really want to know, look it up so you can get a better understanding what goes on to that. And hopefully it'll lead you into reading about being non-binary and a trans person. But just to sum it up, that's a person that's born in a body that they don't feel like they should be in. They don't feel with every fiber in their being that they should be in that body. And when they actually start to make some steps out the closet, oh, it starts with your family ridicule. What the fuck is wrong with you? You sissy, you pussy, you this, you that. Then you get in the street, look at that man in the dress, look at that woman looking like a dude. And then they even have it 10 times worse because, I ain't gonna say because, do y'all ever wonder why is a lot of trans people in the sex trade? You think somebody wakes up and inspires to be a prostitute? Oh, I woke up this morning and I want to be a prostitute because I decided to change my gender and it's gonna be some fun shit to do. Now that I changed my gender, I just want to have a whole bunch of sex. Do you understand that a lot of times with a trans person, because they're trans, when they show up to a job interview, person immediately see you trans, they don't want to hire you because they're not comfortable with that. The television didn't condition them that it's people that actually are trans and they suffer from dysphoria. Television tells you, or your mom or someone else tells you that's a sick individual. And that's why they're a streetwalker. Never mind that they don't have the same opportunities. But we don't think that deep. We don't think that deep. Another reason why people don't come out the closet or identify as anything, not even heterosexual, is because they are unsure about exactly what they are. Now, I'm just telling you, there are several reasons, but I'm telling you the main ones from me having conversations, from my personal experience, the reasons why this closet exists. And it's far deeper than having sneaky sex. Now let's talk about self-preservation. The self-preservation. After you done dealt with all the discrimination, and you saw all the propaganda on the television, and you done been through the religious turmoil, And all the psychological shit. You step out the closet. Now it's time to self-preserve. You gotta fight your way through the world. Ain't that a bitch? I done did all that inner work, and I got to fight. And you might say, well, what do you mean self-preservation? Do you realize that LGBT people, especially again, the identifiable ones, get attacked, verbal, physical assault? It makes me think back to the George Floyd riots and the BLM movement. If you were paying close attention, there were reports of LGBT visible people, visibly LGBT people getting attacked and beat by the people that's marching with them. Some crazy shit. Crazy. I can't even march. It was so ridiculous that I was kind of afraid for Smack. I'm like, yeah, I understand that you want to march, but you got to be careful. For my trans friends, I understand you want to march, but I want you to be careful. This is the shit that we got to worry about. The fear of being attacked and injured. Another thing with self-preservation is you're worried about losing your finances, your job. Something as simple as, I don't know, we all go on break and you all talk to your co-workers and y'all all have these discussions about your family. Well, what if I have an LGBT fam? I'm LGBT with my wife and we got children. Do you understand that one discussion with the wrong person at the water cooler could make you lose your job? Or one discussion with the wrong person at the water cooler, the co-workers started treating you differently? Or maybe you'll get demoted or won't get promoted. And I know we all done heard these stories. So it's a lot. That closet is deep. And it has a lot of secrets in it. But it ain't always about sex. Anybody got some comments? I just like, it's crazy. The lifestyle that we lead being LGBTQ is a very hard walk. And me, myself, I came out later. But for those that have always been out and been on this journey as a young person, I can only imagine all the things that you had to go through. Because it's hard enough being an adult, having to do adult things, getting yourself together, discovering yourself, getting your career in order, deciding your family lifestyle, and then when you add LGBT onto it, it complicates it worse, and then the world adds more problems to you. That's the experience. And that's just some of them. And I say only some, because basically I have a lot of heterosexual people that watch me, and I wanted them to get the gist of exactly what it is to be me. Tell you a story. I was out with my girlfriend, and we were walking and holding hands. And you know, a simple act like that can turn ugly. People were looking at us like we were fucking crazy, like we were gargoyles or something that was ready to attack. And I'm looking around like, damn, these people are looking at us. What's going to happen next? Who wants to function like that? Luckily, it ended up being well because the place where we were, the owner was LGBT. He was a gay male, and him and his husband owned that spot. And they were like, "Oh, well, that's so beautiful to see." Fine, but at the wrong space, it could have went wrong if we were at the wrong location. That's no way to live. And these are the reasons why people don't come out. It's a protective space. Very protective space. But it's also a jail. And if you're a heterosexual person, I need you to understand that every time you pass judgment on an LGBT person, not based off of their personality. Now, if they're a jerk, they're a jerk. But if you pass judgment on them based on their orientation, even though they have feet out, you're pushing them back in. You're contributing to the problem. And I'm telling you this as an LGBT person. That's why that closet is there. I'm going to read y'all some comments from some of the viewers and some of the people that actually responded to my page as to why LGBT people are in the closet. 10 Miles says some are closeted because they are afraid to lose their family and their friends. Some are closeted to protect their kids and their family. Some people are closeted because of the extreme punishment for homosexuality in certain religions and or countries. Some are just selfish cowards. That's the closeted for the sex type person. Nikki Hartland says many reasons. Afraid to lose their job, their family, their friends. They don't feel comfortable enough or safe enough to come out. You heard it from LGBT people. If you're a heterosexual person watching, how does that make you feel? Do you feel comforted being heterosexual? Like, damn. And be honest. I feel comforted because I don't have to go through that. That's one part of my existence that I don't have to get approval from anyone. If you're heterosexual, how do you feel? You don't have that fight. And for all of you LGBT people that aren't as visible as a trans person, a stud, who else is visible? A feminine gay male. This is still your fight. Because I've had a couple people say to me, well, I don't have to worry about that because I'm not in their face. That's right. Simple said, Griffith said, it's easy to sit back and judge when someone doesn't have to live it. And that's true. A person that's not visibly gay, this is your fight. I had a woman tell me, I don't have that problem. But newsflash, you will. The minute you go to a company party with your spouse or your girl, unless you plan on having a whole hidden life. You plan on having a whole hidden life? Or somebody that you know catch you at the grocery store with that person. Or they happen to move in the neighborhood with you and that person. Still your fight. Being in the closet is a lot. And I'll repeat it again, it's not a sexual thing all the time. Another viewer's comment. Jones Jackson, I was never in the closet, but I know several people that have taken up tiny house living in one. One was a nanny. She didn't want her employees to find out. Another was married to a man. Her job sent her on business trips where she would then have rendezvous with women. Another person I know is hiding because of his job. Deep. And I'm glad she said that. When she said one person is married to a man. Now okay. Society says come out the closet, right? Come out the closet. But you see what you experience when you do. So when you don't come out the closet, sometimes you make rash decisions. You try to do what the religious folk want, what society feels like you should be doing. You try to avoid the discrimination. You try to be like what's portrayed on the television, and then you try to be in these relationships with a sex that you necessarily is not attracted to, and it don't work. And it ends in shambles, and everybody's mad, and they're like, well, why didn't you say something? Yes, it's my fault that I didn't say anything, but was I comfortable in that space? Was I comfortable in my skin? Did the world make me comfortable? Are we comfortable? What do you think these pride parades is about? We over the top celebrating ourselves because this world is not making us feel comfortable. We got to celebrate ourselves. Y'all ain't celebrating us. Make it normal. You might not see a pride parade because it wouldn't really be a reason to have one. It's so much other shit in this world to worry about than two consenting adults having a relationship. I thought about it the other day. What would it be like if no one worried about LGBT people and we just all lived and it was understood just like heterosexuality that LGBTQ is just a normal thing? I thought about it. And I said, well, damn, if we stop worrying about that, maybe we can really tackle the real issues, the real sexual deviancy that go on in America and all across the world. We got sex trafficking and rape that we can worry about. That's sexual deviancy. But we don't. It's easy to continuously mistreat my community. It's easier. Anybody have any questions? I gave you the reasons why I personally believe that LGBT people be in the closet. I told you some societal reasons, such as discrimination, lack of representation, religion. I gave you examples of discrimination, the things that we go through, housing discrimination, harassment, which could either fall under self-preservation, the denying of goods and services by people, legal discrimination, health care discrimination, and compound that if you black and LGBT, it just gets worse. The lack of representation in the media, how we're depicted like we're some fucking animals. Being LGBT is just a sexual thing. All it is about sex and fucking, and it's not. And a psychological reason. Dysphoria. Having an issue with self-acceptance. The constant fear of some type of recourse because you're LGBT. And the preservation, because we don't want to get hurt, injured. We want to be able to feed our families. We don't want to lose our jobs, which I read you the comments from everyone else. It's just so much shit that we go through on a daily basis. It's damn near to the point, if you in the wrong area, you can go outside and have a LGBT related incident every day. But I hope, for those of you that watch this, this is not as lighthearted as most of my shows are. I wanted you to kind of really get the gist as to what this closet is and why people are in it. I hope, and this is for LGBT people too, because there are homophobic LGBT people, which sounds utterly stupid. That from based off of what I said, if you have done any of these things, or you know someone that's doing these things to some of these people, that you correct yourself, or you try to correct that other party and explain to them what you're actually doing. You're destroying a person. Literally. And I ain't even get into depth about the parents, because we all know the stories about, and I'm sorry if this bothers you, the ignorant ass parent that can't accept that LGBT child, so now this child is assed out. You push them into the world and they end up making, some of them end up into the ballroom scene that becomes their family, where you meet a gay mom and dad, or and then some of them just end up in the streets, and then again we back to that whole prostitution thing. Well, some of them buck up and figure it out, but the thing is, why do we gotta do that? I hope we all learn something. I ain't even get into my damn video from talking about this topic. But I did feel strong in my heart that I needed to talk about the closet. I really, really just felt it in my heart. I needed to speak on it because people just don't understand what it entails. They don't understand the life. But hopefully, with Biden passing the Equality Act, I'm not going to say the date of it passing. I'm just going to say as time goes by, I hope we can gain some type of understanding and have better relationships, and we can get over the orientation part of the society. I just want to get over that part. And you know, if you follow me on my page, I had a poster that said, you know, equality looks like this, and I had Nas X and I had Nicki Minaj. And that's what it looks like. We had to get to a space where we're used to seeing all these different kind of people. Unless, we're going to keep having the same problem. Thank you, Alicia. She said, there's no better advocate than you, Peach. Thank you. But I'm at my time. I hope y'all enjoyed this. For those of y'all that's going to watch later, feel free to leave, whatever you want to leave in the comment section. I will read it. I'll get back to you. Oh, I got to share with y'all, because I'm so passionate about the LGBT community, and I always have been. Delaware, and if even if you're outside of Delaware, you want to get involved, my nonprofit is called I Am Me Inc. If you're interested in being part of a budding nonprofit for the LGBTQIAAP community, it says place your name below, but obviously you can't. Well, you can. You could place your name in the comments. You can also inbox me if you follow me, and I also place the email address on the side. Everyone is welcome. We're trying to make a change here in Delaware. Some of the projects that we will be working on are our OUT program, and basically it's just going to be like a mini seminar with different speakers educating people about their lifestyle, lesbians, gays, trans. If you are a straight person or LGBT person or an ally or whatever, you're just looking to get further information. Like what I say here to you on this show is very limited, but you can probably gain more insight from talking to the individual from that particular community. Also, we're having a Sunday tease every month. That's on my page. You can inbox me, and it's just for simply networking, so you can get to know the board of the nonprofit. And every year for the last 2 years, and this will be the third, I host the LGBT Christmas, which this year the nonprofit will be hosting it. It goes into the hand of the nonprofit. All of our programs are donation based, no more than $7 or whatever you can afford. If you have a nonprofit or a business or anything, and you would like to network and you like what we're doing, feel free. But it's time for change. Also, one of our goals is to bring more representation to the people of color of Delaware. If you don't like it, it's up to you. I'm with the shit. So, Delaware Pride, Black Delaware Pride. Maybe not next year, but probably the following. Depends on how the nonprofit is. But I'm about to get off here. Next week's topic is a little lighter, and it's called Know the Difference. And the reason why I picked that topic, because I think people don't know the difference between a lot of things that go on in the LGBT community. A lot of the faces that you see. I realize that some people get drag queens mixed up with trans people, and studs mixed up with trans men, women. So next week's topic is Know the Difference. We're going to talk about it. You write down your questions of anything that you don't understand about the community, and let's chat it up. I hope you enjoyed the show. That's my time. Good night. I love all of y'all, and I hope y'all learned something from what I said. Y'all have a good night. See y'all next week. Remember the topic, Know the Difference.